Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video on the Gooners and Gloves Podcast channel. In today's video, it's going to be the 10th Gooners and Gloves Podcast, and I'm going to be predicting the fight between Jack Catterall and Regis Prograis taking place next weekend. This is a fight that I'm really looking forward to. I think it's going to be really good, and I'm genuinely very excited to watch it. And in today's video, I'm going to break down who I think is going to win, how I think the fight's going to go, by what medium I think they're going to win, etc, etc. So yeah, pretty much, let's just get straight into it. So let's start first with Jack Catterall's record. So he is currently sitting at 29-1 with 13 knockouts. So he doesn't necessarily have an exceedingly large amount of power, as of course less than 50% of his wins are knockouts. However, he does have an incredibly elusive and fantastic skill set. He's very good at outboxing opponents, and as we can see, he's only lost once, and that loss was massively controversial. Okay, the one loss he does have, of course, Josh Taylor, massively controversial. I personally didn't agree with it. I thought that Catterall won pretty convincing against Josh Taylor. So the one loss that Catterall has on his record is incredibly controversial, and I personally don't agree with it. I don't think he lost that Taylor fight whatsoever. Of course, he did go on to redeem it, but it's something that unfortunately will forever sit on his record now. And yeah, that's what the record books say. I don't personally think he lost that fight, but obviously that's what his record says. So of course, Catterall, a very good record, and he did, as I mentioned, avenge that one loss that he did have, which that's the fight he's coming off of. So in May, he had the fight against Josh Taylor, avenged it, and it was a fantastic performance. So while he doesn't have a massive knockout percentage, he does have a really good elusive skill set and is very good at hitting and not get hit and outboxing opponents and moving really well. We then move on to Regis Prograis' record, and he's got a very similar record, 29-2. However, as we can see, he's got a significantly larger knockout percentage, 24 KOs in 29 wins. That's very good going. Prograis is actually coming off a loss in December against Devin Haney, although of course there is no shame in losing to Devin Haney. Devin Haney is one of the best lightweights in the world. Devin Haney just completely dominated Prograis in that fight, won pretty much every round, and was incredibly dominant. Prograis did go the distance though, and yeah, not an embarrassing loss whatsoever. Of course, Devin Haney is one of the best lightweights in the world, and as we can see, Prograis certainly has the knockout threat because their records are very similar. Prograis only has one extra fight, but obviously the knockout percentage is massively in Prograis' favor. So that's just kind of a summary of the form that they're both in and what their records are looking like. So as mentioned, Catterall 29-1, 13 knockouts. His one loss was incredibly controversial. And then Prograis 29-2, 24 KOs, and he's coming off a dominant loss against Devin Haney. So how do I think the fight's going to go? Well, I've personally predicted that Jack Catterall will win this fight by unanimous decision. Even though Prograis has that massive knockout threat, which Catterall doesn't, I still think that this fight's going to go the distance. I think they're both going to be really hungry for the win. This is a huge opportunity for both men, and so for that reason I just think they're both going to train really hard, really well prepared. So I don't think that either one of them are going to knock each other out. I think this is going to go the full 12 rounds, and I do believe that Catterall will win by unanimous decision. In terms of how I think the fight's going to go, well, I do think that Prograis is going to look to put some early pressure on Catterall. Obviously Prograis has got, as I said, he's got that knockout threat, so he's going to want to look to try and stop him early. So I think that Prograis is going to start really fast, start really aggressive, start really sort of just really going guns blazing, and I think this is the point in the fight where Catterall is going to have to be careful. Obviously Catterall is going to have to survive some of these hard shots that he takes from Prograis. As I said, Prograis obviously loads of knockouts, quite aggressive, quite fast, and definitely quite a fast starter. So I do think that this is going to be quite a fast start from Regis Prograis. I think he's going to just come forward, really try to put pressure on Catterall, try and back him up against the ropes, against the corner, etc. So I think to start the fight off, Catterall, you know, he might potentially give up the first few rounds as he eases his way into the fight and sort of adjusts to Prograis' pressure. So I do think that Prograis will probably win the early rounds as he just puts on the pressure, turns up the gas immediately, and it might take Catterall a few rounds to ease his way into the fight. But I think once Catterall gets through Prograis' initial storm and the fight kind of calms down a bit, I think from about the midway point onwards to about round basically to the end of the fight, I think that Catterall is going to begin to outbox Regis Prograis, pick him apart, land his jab, land his right hand, and just do well. So yeah, I think the early rounds might be Prograis, but I think from about the midway point to the end of the fight, I think Catterall is going to be in control. I think he's going to outbox Prograis. He's going to have adjusted to his movement, to his tempo, and I think that Catterall is going to be able to out jab him, pick him apart, land good headshots, also go to the body. I do expect Catterall to go to the body quite a bit, as of course that's a good way to slow someone down when they're being aggressive. So I do expect to see a lot of body work from Catterall, and to be fair, I also expect to see it from Prograis. Prograis as well. Obviously, a good way for Prograis to be able to tire Catterall out and therefore go, put the pressure on is to try and land body shots. So I do expect both of them to really be going for the body quite a bit. Obviously, in any fight, you're going to see a lot of head hunting, but I do think this is definitely going to be a fight where we see some body work as well. And I think they're both going to be looking to slow each other down with body shots. And obviously, there's going to be they're both going to be looking to get their jab going, get their combinations, but yeah, I think that Prograis is going to have a good start. I think he's going to land the combinations. He's going to put the pressure on. He's going to sort of back Catterall up a few times against the ropes and into the corner. And Catterall is going to have to definitely weather this storm. So for that reason, I do think that the first 3 to 4 rounds could go Prograis' way. But I think from about round 5 onwards to about round 12, I think it's going to be Jack Catterall who is just in complete control. By then, I think Prograis would have gotten a bit more tired, and Jack Catterall will start landing his combinations, getting his jab going, snapping Prograis' head back, moving, hitting and not get hit, and just really circling the ring, landing his combinations, getting out of dodge before any hard shots come back, and essentially just frustrating Prograis. I do also think that Catterall's good skill set will frustrate Prograis, and that's exactly what happened against Devin Haney as well. Prograis was very frustrated at how elusive and how good at moving and good at landing combinations Devin Haney was, and for that reason Prograis kind of was frustrated throughout the whole fight, and that further helped Devin Haney to be able to win all the rounds. And I think we're going to see a similar story with Catterall. But yeah, that's my prediction. I think Jack Catterall is going to win this fight by unanimous decision. I think it is going to go the distance, and I do think that all 3 judges will give it to Prograis. That's my opinion. I think that while he's going to probably not have the best start because Prograis is just going to come out really fast, I do think that Catterall will eventually ease his way in, win sort of the following 6-7 rounds, get the fight on the scorecards, win by unanimous decision, and be on to the next one. But as I said, Catterall is going to have to avoid Prograis' power punches and his aggressiveness, because as I said, Prograis has a massive advantage in terms of knockouts and stopping power, and it's something that Catterall doesn't have as much of. Catterall is definitely more of a points fighter. He tends to go the distance. He tends not to take too many risks, and instead just lands his combinations, gets out of dodge, moves around the ring, and I think that's definitely going to be a problem for Prograis in this fight. But yeah, that about summarizes what I think is going to happen in the fight. So just as a final sort of summary, it's going to start out fast from Prograis. He's going to be coming out really quickly, looking to put early pressure, get the early stoppage, etc. Catterall might definitely get caught with some heavy shots in this time, and he's going to have to do a lot of moving to try and weather this storm. And so I do think that the first sort of 3 or 4 rounds probably will go to Prograis. However, from about round 5 onwards, I think that Prograis will start to slow down. Catterall will have, by this point, read his tempo, eased his way into the fight, and I think he'll begin to pick him apart, outbox him, hit and not get hit, move around the ring, land good jabs, land good combinations, and eventually win the fight on the scorecards by unanimous decision. So yeah, please let me know down below who you think is going to win this fight. I'm really interested to see. Let me know if you're looking forward to it. I personally think this is going to be a great fight. Obviously, 2 very motivated, hungry fighters who are looking for, more world title opportunities, and I think that this is the perfect way for them to be able to get it. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys listening to the podcast, and yeah, please let me know down below who you think is going to win. Do you agree with me? Do you think it's going to be Catterall? If you do think it's going to be Catterall, do you agree that it's going to be a decision, or do you think that Catterall could actually stop Prograis? And vice versa, do you think that Prograis is going to win? And if you do think that Prograis is going to win, please let me know by what means. Do you think he's going to knock Catterall out? Do you think he's going to stop him? Do you think he's going to win by decision, etc.? So yeah, but that's my final prediction. Jack Catterall by unanimous decision. Thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate all the support on the podcast recently. Do look forward to my podcast tomorrow, which is going to be my team selection for Fantasy Premier League this week. Of course, Fantasy Premier League is finally back after the international break, so this week I'm looking to do my team selection, so look out for that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you agree with my prediction, Catterall winning by unanimous decision. Do you agree with me, or do you think someone else is going to win? Yeah, leave your prediction down below. Let me know who you think is going to win, by what medium. Remember to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications if you enjoyed the podcast. Remember to follow the TikTok and Twitter pages that can be seen on the screen. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and I'll catch you guys with another podcast soon. Bye bye.